Hey guys, how's it going? It's Duke Investigative here, and today we are investigating the crimes, scams, and schemes of Andrew Tate. So we're going to carry on with the video and get into the nitty-gritty. Over the last 6 weeks, I've been really deep dives and deep searching and researching the guy who is, or the Tate brothers, I should say, because they're both up to the same type of game. And in this video, we ran an investigation on them. We're exposing a lot of his alleged activities and bringing what they don't like to talk about on the podcast they go on, because these are all the podcasts they go on are all good friends of Andrew. They're not going to act. It's like it's like Joe Biden getting asked a question by CNN, but on the flip reverse is Andrew Tate and his 5-year-long friendship with some other podcaster in the UK that grew up in the same city, Luton, or someone like Rob Moore, who he's been going off and on with. But I can show you everything's all connected. It's all carefully constructed, and these guys know what they're doing. They're carrying the grift this far. But let's get into it. And this all stems from since December 27th of 2022. Which was the day that Romanian prosecutors raided Andrew and Tristan's home in Bucharest, Romania, which was a result of an ongoing decock criminal investigation to what the Romanian prosecutors believed was alleged human trafficking, rape, which began in April 2022 after an American citizen, the brothers, they like to complain that they're being treated so badly that they're an American citizen. But in April of 2022, an American citizen reported that she was being held against her will. That ensued the ongoing investigation into the Tates, leading up to the arrest on December 27th of 2022. That led to a 92-day detention in the quote-unquote Romanian dungeon that Andrew and Tristan scorn over every time they bring it up in our podcast. It's a big event. I don't think Romanian I'm not as someone from the United States, I don't think a Romanian prison is worse than the hell that we have here, But, they're in the Romanian prison. It seems like when I Google Romanian prisons, they're not well funded, but it's not a hellhole, So they're exaggerating the point just a bit, but that's just the tip of the iceberg with these fools. So 2022 was Andrew Tate's best and worst year. And that's true if you look at the Google trending statistics. He doesn't have all the hype he used to have, but he's still able to keep his brand alive through multiple different podcasts, which I've been looking into, and it appears that all his podcast friends are not really mainstream podcasts, but right-wing extremists who will take a sex trafficker in their podcast, who has crimes, who's committed these crimes, and he has evidence against him because of legal processes, which is available on, anyone can read it online, and they still allow him on these podcasts because he says the Matrix is attacking him, and here's why this is a bullshit excuse. But let's begin from the beginning of 2022. You want to know what happened? Well, first what happened was the rapid rise from January to June of him on TikTok. Hustlers University was a bumbling success. Everyone was using it. Everyone's talking about top G, top G, top G. And then around July and August, he was deplatformed by major social media platforms. Instagram, I'm pretty sure it was Facebook, TikTok. They even started shadow banning and even using AI to even detect how he looks, just to push him out the algorithm, because there's just too much pressure from advertisers. They don't want to pay to be advertised on a misogynistic app. It just, I'm not saying he's misogynistic. I'm just saying the points he was taking, I understand why he was banned, but for him to say the Matrix attacked him, it's kind of asinine, because that's not what happened. anyone who runs a business, online business, would know there's a code and morals and ethics that are in business. You have to appease to everybody. You can't just, and when you're an app developer, when you're an owner of an app company, you can't just be pushing any and anybody because that's a bad look for your name. I'm pretty sure this happened to YouTube a couple of years ago. I don't remember who triggered it, but a lot of, I'm pretty sure the YouTube stock went down, the Google stock, something with the stocks went down because of, and this actually still affects YouTubers to this day. Even pay went down because advertisers weren't paying to be advertised in that type of light. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with billion-dollar companies, they don't care about that shit. They want to advertise to the people they want to advertise to. But if your number one trending thing on your website is bullshit, then they don't want to be there and spend the money. And I understand why the CEOs of these big companies, big name companies that have their reputation on the line, don't want to be associated with the likes of the Tate brothers. And it's rightfully so, because it's not just the Matrix that's attacking him. It's the real world that he's the real world that he's so arrogant and ignorant not to understand there's a real world out there, and there's people that see different points of views, and they might not even agree on them. But when it comes to flipping the dollar bill, yes, you'll get canceled. So that was coming either way. Whether the Matrix were in dark rooms and somewhere in fucking Albania, Canada, in a dark room wearing hoodies over their masks with candles saying, Tate, we have to take him down, which I highly doubt that didn't happen. Then the Matrix, it wasn't attacking him. He just made stupid business practices. So by, July and August, he was permanently deplatformed, except by X, where Elon added him back on to the X platform, which is not bad because Elon believes in, he doesn't let advertisers control him. Okay, cool. You own $1 billion, $1 trillion company called Tesla, and a lot of other companies. You don't really rely on advertiser money like these big time social media companies do. That's why he was added back on X. It wasn't just because X is, or Elon's unplugged from the Matrix or whatever Matrix there is. I don't think there's a Matrix. I think there's very powerful people, but I don't think they're all in the cahoots, or, it's kind of weird. By April, we're going a little bit back, but by April, the first Romanian investigation was going on, but it was an ongoing investigation, so there was no arrest yet. And by the end of the year, December 29th, a couple days after Christmas, Merry Christmas, they were arrested in Romania for trafficking and rape. And these are all alleged, and the court proceedings are still playing as from 2022 to 2023 to 2024 to 2025. They're still going through this legal drama. But this is just a timeline for what happened during 2022, where he rose to the top of the top and fell to the bottom of the bottom within a couple of months. Andrew and his criminal brother, Tristan Tate, they were dancing around in Miami, hot, fresh off a jet and everything, until Ron DeSantis shut that shit down. And
we have no involvement in that. I read about it through the media. Clearly, the federal government has jurisdiction, whether they want to rebuff his entry into the United States, and I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem, that they will be looking at that. I do know our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, is looking at what state hooks and jurisdiction we may have to be able to deal with this. But the reality is no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct in the air. And I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved. We were not notified. I found out through the media that this was something that was happening.
Now they fled back to Romania, actually, or Dubai, and they're not looking to come back to the United States anymore. I don't know what happened.
Hello. I'm glad to be home, back in Romania, like I said I'd be.
To being a proud American. That's what I'm saying. They're flip-flopping on any which subject, and they're scathing by, grifting tons of crypto scams just to pay their legal fees. It's a sad realization once you really figure everything out, once you listen to every podcast, once you understand, and then you reverse engineer that person and you understand that they're lying. The whole image is a facade. They're just trying to sell their top G course, the real world, daddy coin, and pump it up to the moon. It's all a scam. It's the last video. We really didn't have to go that much into the investigation, really and truly. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Everything's alleged in this video, so I don't want the takes coming for me. And, you know, it's all alleged. This is all public information out there. It's nothing new. There's no slander here.